Good evening, everyone. Hello, everyone. Who's with us? Hilton with us, Brian and Glenda with us, Frank with us. How are you, Brian? Hello, Ivor. Hello, Anthony.
Hello.
How are you, everyone? Is everyone well?
Yep.
Good.
Orel is joining us. Good. Oh, I'm just admitting Orel. Let's wait another few seconds. There's another people coming. I see Len Edelman joining us also. Good. Who else joining us? Let's see who else. I see Gabriel joining us. Okay, Gabriel joining us. Okay, who else gonna join us? Let's see here. I'm admitting Gabriel. Gabriel gonna join us any minute. We're just waiting for the Baal Kore and few others. I see Louis gonna join us in a few seconds. Okay. Who else gonna join us? Let's see. Hello, Louis. How's it? How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you, Lord?
Baruch Hashem. Is everyone well?
Yes, thank you. We're all fine, thank you.
Good, good, good,
Okay.
good, good. Who else joining us? Let's just see here. There's more people joining us. I'm just gonna look now. Let me just check. Okay, let's see who else. Okay. Let's wait one more second and then we'll start the show. Okay, I'm gonna start, and I'm sure that our friend Mr. Jeffrey gonna join us soon, and then we can he can start be the Baal Kore. If not, we have always Louis as a standby, or Mark always in standby. Okay, so Rabotai, I just want to mention one important thing. This coming Shabbos is Parashat Zachor. Parashat Zachor. Okay, there is, I spoke about it today in Mincha in a shul. Rabotai, there is the Maran Shulchan Aruch. Rabbi Yosef Karo in Shulchan Aruch wrote in Siman Kuf Mem Vav. That's mean Kuf Mem Vav 147. Okay, verse 2. That there is an obligation from the Torah to listen to Parashat Zachor. Parashat Zachor, mitzvat aseh deoraita, pasken the Maran Shulchan Aruch, Rabbi Yosef Karo. And funny enough, the Rama didn't bring didn't say anything about it. That means he didn't bring his opinion on it. So from here we see that most of the Aharonim agree that the Kriyat of Parashat Zachor, it's an obligation from the Torah. Nachon, amongst the Rishonim, there is different opinion, but most of the Aharonim, most of the Poskim Aharonim, that means in the 14th century, in the 16th century, agree until today that it's to listen this coming Shabbos for the reading of Parashat Zachor, Zachor et asher asa lecha Amalek, that we're going to read in Parashat Ki Tetzeh, chapter 25, verse 17, 18 and 19. Only 3 psukim, that's all. So those of you that can go to listen to Parashat Zachor, it's very important. Okay, I would like to dedicate the shiur in the soul of Esther Kaven bat Ketia, Mordechai ben Rahma, Tamar bat Zehava, Eitan ben Keren ve'Avishai Nae, Malka Regina bat Joya, Yaakov Salomon ben Farha, Farha bat Shalcha. Nishmatam tiye tzrura b'tzur haim. Also, I would like to dedicate the shiur in health of all those that injured, the soldiers, the member of the police, those that been injured amongst terrorist attack, those that need refuah shlema, and amongst them, Leora bat Miriam, Menashe Naji ben Farha, Harav Moshe ben Bayabati, Harav Moshe ben Devora, Harav Shlomo Yehuda ben Dalia, Harav Abraham ben Marina, Dvora bat Esther, Sheina Keila bat Hana, Mordechai David ben Leah, Yehuda Hillel ben Shulamit Leah, Chaim Nahum ben Pesah Reza Kohen, Baruch בן שרה חיינה, ובקדן בת טלי אסתר, לאה בת רחל, פסח יצחק בן אלה, איילה עדן בת רבקה, נתני מלכה בת שרה רבקה טל, יהודה בן אליעזר, מהיר בן יהודה, אריאל בן שילת, אורי בן יעל, חנניה שלום בן אביגדור. Please God, רפואה שלמה. Today, ולכל חולה ופצועי עמו בית ישראל, בכל מקום שהם. Mark or Louis, which one of you would like to be the Baal Koreh tonight? Who's
Can Mark do it for tonight?
Mark tonight? Mark, can you unmute? Are you okay with that? Just give me a finger.
Yeah.
You're okay with that?
Good,
Okay.
good.
Rabotai, this coming Shabbos,
I'm just going to
we're
get
gonna
my
start-
chumash. It's at the back.
No problem. Rabotai, this Shabbos, we're going to start the third book of Moses, Parashat Vayikra. Sefer Vayikra, just introduction, quick introduction. Sefer Vayikra, it's a book that speaks about the korbanot. It means about the sacrifice that Bnei Israel used to bring at Bet HaMikdash, at the tabernacle, at the Mishkan. Okay, Mishkan is the Mishkan that was in the wilderness, is a portable Bet Mikdash. Okay, and by the way, until the Inter Eretz Israel, they didn't have Bet Mikdash. So what they used to do? So Hazal tell us that it used to be few Bate Mishkan. One of them is Mishkan Shiloh, and there was a great Kohen Gadol that called Eli, and there they used to sacrifice. Okay, so we see from here that a Mishkan is like a Bet HaMikdash. The tabernacle is a portable Bet Mikdash. So the Sefer Vayikra mainly speak about the different korbanot that we have, the korbanot that I'm talking about, each sacrifice. We'll speak about it Be'ezrat Hashem. But let's start. We're going to start with chapter 1, verse 1. And look what it says. Vayikra el Moshe, וידבר אדוני אליו מאוהל מועד לאמור.
Sorry, Rob, I didn't catch where are we? Are we in the
ספר
Megillah?
ויקרא.
Oh,
No.
I thought we were in the Megillah.
No. We פרשת השבוע.
Okay. Sorry, Rob, I made a mistake. Let me
No,
get
it's
there.
no problem. No problem at all.
Vayikra, right. Let's get to the beginning. Okay. He called to Moses, and Hashem spoke to him from the tent of meeting, saying,
Okay, if you look at that verse, in a Sefer Torah, any Nehumash, Rabotai, the letters Aleph of the word Vayikra is very small. We have to understand why. But we have to understand, if HaKadosh Baruch Hu called Moses, if HaKadosh Baruch Hu called Moshe Rabbeinu, why does it say, Vayidaber Adonai Elav? And he spoke to him from the tent of meeting. If HaKadosh Baruch Hu called him, if I called you, that means that we're talking. Then it says, Vayidaber, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu spoke to him. What did he tell them? We have to understand what's the Hidush. So Be'ezrat Hashem, we try to answer these two questions that we have here. Why the letters Aleph is small? So on according to the Pshat of the Dvarim, Hazal tell us that Moshe Rabbeinu that wrote the Torah, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu told them to write Vayikra el Moshe, that means he called to Moshe, Moshe Rabbeinu that was the most humble man that ever was on earth, said, how can I write as a human being that HaKadosh Baruch Hu called me? That means it sounds like arrogancy, like proud. We speak a lot about arrogancy and proud today. And Moshe Rabbeinu said, I can't write it. It's too arrogant, it's too proud for me to write that HaKadosh Baruch Hu called me. Who I am, that the Creator, the Almighty will call me. I'm a normal human being. So he didn't want people to say, here, Kadosh Baruch Hu spoke to him. So what is he done? He wrote the letters Aleph small. Why did he write it small? So from far away it will look Vayikra. Okay, and he doesn't say Vayikra because he was very humble and modest. He didn't want to be arrogant. And that teaches something very important. People should be very humble. Try as much as they can to be humble with every situation that they can, with everything that they do, with every deeds that they do, to be humble and modest. That's why the letters Aleph came, to teach us that. But Rashi HaKadosh says something extraordinary. What it means, Vayikra, Vayidaber, and he spoke. If HaKadosh Baruch Hu already called Moshe, obviously he's speaking to him. But the Torah tells us Vayidaber. Rashi HaKadosh, Rabbi Shlomo Yitzhaki, he born in a city of Torah in the north of France 984 years ago. And he said like this, Kolo shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the voice of the Almighty, okay? מגיע לאוזניו של משה רבנו בלבד, ואילו בני ישראל לא שומעים. That means Moshe Rabbeinu can hear the voice of the Almighty, but the children of Israel cannot hear nothing, cannot hear the sound and the voice of the Almighty speaking to Moshe Rabbeinu. What's the Hidush here? The Hatam Sofer, Rabbi Moshe Sofer, born in a city of Frankfurt. He born around in Germany, he born around 261 years ago. And he said great Hidush. He said, here HaKadosh Baruch Hu tell Moshe Rabbeinu to enter the Holy of Holiness. And who heard that? Only Moshe Rabbeinu. Who made the mistake? Nadav and Avihu. Nadav and Avihu saw Moshe Rabbeinu going to the Holy of Holiness. But they didn't understand that the Almighty called them and spoke to him and told them, you can enter to sacrifice. When Nadav and Avihu saw that, and that was their mistake, what did they done? They also came. The Torah tells us brought a strange fire. What does it mean, a strange fire? A strange fire that they never been called to sacrifice, to do the korban. What is it? Tell us something extraordinary. It's telling that Bnei Israel never heard that HaKadosh Baruch Hu spoke to Moshe Rabbeinu. And that was the mistake of Nadav and Avihu. That they was thinking that Moshe Rabbeinu entered by his own decision. No. HaKadosh Baruch Hu spoke, Vayidaber. HaKadosh Baruch Hu spoke to Moshe Rabbeinu and told them to enter. And that was the mistake, and we know that they've been punished. Okay. When it happened? On the 8 days. Okay. ביום שמיני של המילואים. That's when it happened to them, the tragedy. Okay. In verse 2, the Torah tells us like this. דבר אל בני ישראל. ואמרת, sorry, I need to turn more page. Here there's a lot of commentary. ואמרת עליהם, אדם, כי יקריב מכם קורבן לאדוני, מן הבהמה, ומן הבקר, ומן הצאן, תקריבו את קורבנכם.
Speak to the children of Israel and say to them, when a man among you brings an offering to Hashem from animals, from the cattle or from the flock, shall you bring your offering.
Okay. Let's first focus on the first of the pasuk, at the beginning of the verse. Daber el bnei Israel, speak to the children of Israel. V'amarta lahem, and say to them. If you saying to Moshe Rabbeinu to speak to them, obviously he will tell them. So why is the Torah repeat? Daber ve'amarta. Why is it repeat? If Moshe Rabbeinu speak to them, he obviously telling them something. Rabotai, there is a Hidush here. And the Hidush that I'm going to bring, it's the Hidush of Rabbi Rabbeinu Behaye ben Asher. Rabbeinu Behaye ben Asher born in a city of Saragossa. He born around 769 years ago, plus minus, in Spain. Saragossa in Spain. And he wrote commentary on a Torah. And he said this. He said the bear is in general. The amarta, it's in private. Well, Rabbeinu Bechaya, what are you trying to tell me? Please explain. Rabbeinu Bechaya said like this. HaKadosh Baruch Hu said to Moshe Rabbeinu, Daber el Bnei Israel, speak to the children of Israel. Tell them regarding the mitzvah to bring sacrifice. There is a mitzvah to bring sacrifice, that if a person done Avera, done a sin, you have an obligation to bring a sacrifice. Or a person that decide that something good happened to him, and he want to thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu to bring Korban Todah. Okay, that's the bear. Tell them about the mitzvah of the Korbanot. What it means, Amarta? Say Rabbeinu Bechaya, the word Amarta, meaning explain to them what's hiding behind the secret of the Korbanot. Why do they have to bring Korbanot? That means, he said like this. He said, HaKadosh Baruch Hu said to Moshe Rabbeinu, Daber el Bnei Israel, ve'amarta lehem ve'asu lahem tzitzit. That means, speak to the children of Israel and tell them that they're obligated to do what? A tzitzit. Tell them that they're obligated to wear a tzitzit. But explain to him how to make the tzitzit. What does it mean? That the tzitzit have to have 4 corners, have to have 8 strings, okay? And those 8 strings, you have to have 5 knots on them. That means how to do the mitzvah tzitzit. Say Rabbeinu Bechaya, in this verse, we're learning that HaKadosh Baruch Hu told Moshe Rabbeinu to tell the children of Israel regarding the mitzvah of the korbanot, that there is a mitzvah to do a korban, but it's not enough. Explain to them how to do the korbanot. What's the secret behind the korban? And then it says something very interesting. After you tell them and you explain to them the secret behind the korban, look what it said. It said like this. Adam ki yakriv mikem korban laAdonai. Okay? Chazal tell us in a Gemara Masechet Chulim. Gemara Masechet Chulim in page 5, folio 1. Chazal say mikem velo me'omot. That means that Chazal in a Gemara tell us that there is an obligation that if a Jewish person done Avera, he can bring a korban. But if a Gentile done a Avera, he can't bring a korban. What's the Hidush here? What is the Hidush behind it? What is the Hidush? Rabotai, listen to that. It's something, when I read it, I was shocked. So first, let's explain what's the idea about the korban, and then we explain what Chazal in the Gemara and Masechet Cholim tell us. The Al-Sheikh HaKadosh, Rabbi Moshe Al-Sheikh, that born in the city of Andripoli in Turkey 517 years ago, explained, you know what's hiding behind the korban? A person bring a korban to Beit HaMikdash, he given it to Kohen, and the shohet there shech the korban. The owner of the korban see how is the korban will shech. Then he see how the korban been skinned. Then he see how it been cut. That means how they cut the animal. And then he see that they taking the blood and the sprinkling and etc. Say Al-Sheikh HaKadosh, you know what the purpose of all of that? That the person that done the Avera and he brought a korban to realize that that's what he should be punished with. But because HaKadosh Baruch Hu, with his mercy, with his compassion, with his kindness, have mercy on us, say, listen, learn from the Korban, don't sin again. I don't want to punish. But he says what Hazal say in Masechet Hulin, that Mikem velo min omot haolam. Rabbi said the Ben Ish Chai is something extraordinary. The Ben Ish Chai wrote a book that, who was the Ben Ish Chai? Rabbi Yosef Haim, born in the city of Baghdad in Iraq 190 years ago. He wrote a book, Aderet Eliyahu. He wrote many books, the Ben Ish Chai, Aderet Eliyahu, Ben Yehoyada, and etc. Aderet Eliyahu, it's a book that he wrote in honor of his father. His father used to call Eliyahu. So in honor of his father, he wrote commentary on the Torah. And in his book, he said like this. He said that the Jewish people and HaKadosh Baruch Hu is like a husband and a wife. There is a partnership between them. Like a husband married his wife, they become now a partners. Okay? That's the husband and the wife is it's like two partners. HaKadosh Baruch Hu and Bnei Israel is like a husband and a wife, a partner. When it's come to Ummot HaOlam, the nation, they like the servant. Now, that they create of the HaKadosh Baruch Hu, but they're serving. He said that if the wife, he bringing you parable for us to understand, a mashal. And he said like this. He said, if the wife broke something very valuable that the husband received, well, from his grandmother, and it was very important, he will get upset and will get cross, but then she'll bring him something that he likes to eat, to drink. After a day or two, he forgot about it. He'd say it's the same with HaKadosh Baruch Hu and Bnei Israel. If Bnei Israel sin, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will get cross with us. Okay? But he always will forgive us. He always will forgive us. How? By that we do tshuva and we bring korbanot. He said, but if the servant broke something and damaged something, you have to pay for it. He said that it's not going to help if they're going to bring korbanot, because a servant cannot bring korbanot. It's not tshuva. If a goy done avera, finished. He can't do tshuva. He have to be punished for it. He said that's the difference. It's a Adam ki yakriv korban laHashem. It's only Jewish people can do, bring korbanot. And that's what will do atonement to the Jewish people. Why? Because we partner with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We're like a husband and a wife. Nachon that we sin because we're human beings. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu in the end will forgive us. He wants us to do tshuva to forgive us. But if a goy done avera, HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't forgive him. He wait for him and then he punish. That means when I say wait, he wait how much he gonna do more averot, and then one time he finish with it. That's the difference. That's the Ben Ish Chai explained that verse. So now we can understand what's hiding behind it. Why did HaKadosh Baruch Hu in this verse tell us Adam ki yakriv mikem korban laAdonai? That means that all the purposes that korban is to bring us closer and to bond with the Almighty. To do tshuva so we can bond with the Almighty. Let's go to verse 3. And look here in verse 3, it says something very, very interesting. Look which korban it's speaking. Im ola korbano min habakar zachar tamim יקריבנו על פתח אוהל מועד, יקריב אותו לרצונו לפני השם.
If one's offering is an elevation offering from the cattle, he shall offer an unblemished male. He shall bring it to the entrance of the tent of meeting voluntarily before Hashem.
Okay, if you read that verse, your first question that you should ask, the first korban that the Torah speak about in Parashat Vayikra, the book that speak about the korbanot, it's the offering of elevation, korban olah. Why dafka korban olah? That question been asked by Rabbeinu Bechaya. Rabbeinu Bechaya asked, why from all the korbanot that there is, when the Torah speak about the korban, dafka korban olah. So he explained like this, and he said like this. What is the purpose of the korban? We explain that if a person sins, he bring a korban, he see what's happened with the korban, and you have to understand that that's what should happen with him. Say Rabbeinu Bechaya is something extraordinary. He said that korban olah. Why do you bring korban olah? Korban olah is a korban that you bring for the fault. If a person done something wrong, that's what you have to bring. Why? Because it's fault. When a person want to do avera, before he do avera, he usually plan it. He usually think about it. Say Rabbeinu Bechaya, the Torah tell you which korban first speaking about? The elevation, sacrifice. Why dafka that? Because that's a korban that came for the fault. What it means for the fault? When a person, lo alenu, planning to do avera, okay, he have to plan it. He thinking about it. He said, therefore, avera, it doesn't just come like this. Now, there is beshogeg, by mistake, but that we're not talking now. We're talking about the planning avera. What come before that? The fault. He said, therefore, the first thing that the Torah tell you about korban olah, to warn you that you have to think what you do before. Okay. Let's go to verse 11. In verse 11, sorry, let me just get there and there. Look what it says. It says something here, a verse that you read it every morning after Parashat Akedah. Those of you that saying the korbanot in the Akedah, say that verse. And I would like to speak to you about it. What is it hiding about it? And we'll see. And today I'm going to bring the Tanakh to explain that. Look what it says. V'shachatoto al yerech hamizbeach tzafonna lifnei Adonai וזרקו בני אהרון הכהנים את דמו על המזבח סביב.
He shall offer it at the northern side of the altar before Hashem, and the sons of Aharon the Kohen shall throw it blood on the altar all around.
Okay. On a pshat of the dvarim, you should shech the korban, okay? After you shech the korban, where you should shech it? On the north side of the altar. But to sprinkle the blood, to throw the blood around the mizbeach, that have to be done by the Kohanim, the children of Aaron. That's the pshat of the Torah. I saw a beautiful commentary that brought in a Gemara in Masechet Brachot 31:2, folio 2. Chazal tell us a story from Shmuel Aleph. Shmuel Aleph, the book of Shmuel, the volume 1. Chazal tell us a story that was a woman by the name of Hannah. Hannah was the wife of Elkanah. Elkanah had 2 women, Pnina and Hannah. Hannah couldn't have kids for many years. Then she told them, take another wife, at least from her you'll have kids. But Hannah was very bitter, and she saw that Pnina having 10 kids, and then she gone to Mishkan Eli. Okay, Mishkan Shiloh, sorry, Mishkan Shiloh. In Mishkan Shiloh, she gone and she davened. And Eli Kohen, that was the higher priest, showed her that she talking without a sound. And he was thinking that she drank wine, and he was thinking that she drank, she intoxicated. And she said to him, I'm not intoxicated. I'm a bitter woman that's speaking to the Almighty. And he asked her what's her story, and she told him that she wants, and he promised her that he will pray for her and she will have a son. And he said to her that this son, when you have it, you have to make him Nazir. You have to dedicate him to the Mishkan when he grown up. And that's what she done. After 2 years that she had the child, and that was Shmuel Hanavi, the prophet Samuel. In the age of 2, she took him to Mishkan Shiloh, where Eli Cohen was. He was a high priest. And one day, people came to bring a korban, to shech the korban. And Eli Cohen said to them, you must wait until the Kohen come, and then we can shech. Who heard that? Shmuel Hanavi. Shmuel Hanavi, the prophet Samuel, was 2 years old. He looked at Eli Cohen, he looked at his mom, and he looked at the people. And he said to him like this. He said, Veshahat oto al yerech hamizbeach tzafona. What it means, Veshahat? It says, Shehazar mutar b'shchitat hakorban. Wow. It's a new chidush. That means everyone that know the law of shchita, that learns shchita, and is yirei shamayim, he can shech in Bet HaMikdash. He can shech the korban. It doesn't have to be a Kohen. What a chidush. What happened? Eli Cohen, that was a high priest, didn't feel comfortable with that, and he was a makpid. He was very strict about it. He knew that what Shmuel Hanavi says is right. The halacha is 100% right halacha. But he was makpid. Why? Because Hazal tell us, a posek halacha bifnei rabo hayav mita. A person that pasken halacha in the front of his rabbi, obligated for the punishment of death. Immediately, who saw that? His mother, Hannah. She gone to Eli and she said to him, Lana'ar hazeh itpalalti, don't harm him. I know that you're very makpid with him. He said, I will daven that you'll have even a higher. He said, no. I don't want another child. Lana'ar hazeh itpalalti, to this child I'll daven. That's what I want. And Eli Cohen, Hazal said that he forgive Shmuel Hanavi and nothing happened. Until he heard the story. Come Rabbi Shimshon Chaim Nachmani. Rabbi Shimshon Chaim Nachmani, born in the city of Modena 318 years ago. In his book, Zera Shimshon, in Ot Hey, that's mean in question verse 5, he asked a question. I don't understand. Eli, that was the high priest, didn't know that everyone that knows shchita doesn't have to be a Kohen. Even a normal Israel, as long that he know ilchot shchita, and he learned it, and he's yirei shamayim, he can shech the korban. That's the shaila. Kohen Gadol doesn't know that. What's happening here? How come that Eli Cohen didn't know that? So that's the question of the Zera Shimshon. The Zera Shimshon, a beautiful concept. He said like this, to tell you the truth, Eli Cohen knew that everyone allowed to shech. Everyone can shech. As long that he know ilchot shchita and he learn ilchot shchita and he yirei shamayim, he can shech. He said, you know, why did he say that we have to wait for the Kohanim, to the Kohen to come to shech? He said like this. He said, I'll tell you why. He said, the main reason that Eli Cohen told everyone to wait until the Kohen come, he knew that if someone knew how to shech, he can shech. If he knew the law and he learned ilchot shchita and he's yirei shamayim, he can shech. He said, not because of that, because Eli wanted that to teach something very important. How important is the Mishkan, okay? And not only that, that people should respect the Mishkan. That means if everyone come and share whenever you want, it will be a chaos. There is no respect for the Mishkan. Said the Zera Shimshon, you have to understand that for sure, Eli Cohen, that was a Kohen Gadol, knew that halacha. It's not a hidush. The hidush here, you know why he told them to wait? Because he wants people to respect the Mishkan. Because otherwise, if everyone bring a Mishkan, and Chaim Yankol shefting, and Chaim Shmerol, he's shefting, everyone sheft 100%, can be a chaos, and that can lead, Chas v'shalom, to Chilul Hashem, to desecrate the house of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He said not to cause chaos, not to cause such a situation that can cause a problem. Eli decide that we have to wait for a Kohen to come, and everyone have to wait for a Kohen. That will be a law and order, that will be respect for the Bet HaMikdash. That means Mishkan Shiloh. And that's why he done it. Say. And that's the Hidush. What do we learn from here? Rabotai, I tell you, when you say that verse, the Ari HaKadosh, Rabbi Yitzhak Luri Ashkenazi, born in Jerusalem 490 years ago. He said like this. He said, if you focus on what you're saying, Veshahat oto al yerech hamizbeach tzapona, okay, Yifnei Adonai, that verse can do atonement for all your averot. That means today that we don't have Bet Mikdash, we cannot bring sacrifice. Uneshalma parim sefatenu. By that you're saying that verse, there is great secret on it, and that can do atonement. And that's the Hidush. And that's what I wanted to share with you. Because why? Because every morning we say that verse straight after Parashat HaAkedah. Parashat HaAkedah, I'm just going to explain briefly. Parashat HaAkedah speak when Avraham Avinu took Yitzhak Avinu to the Akedah. So immediately after that, it said that verse. Why? The secret behind it, that we're reminding HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Akedah of Yitzhak Avinu. And then we're saying to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, okay, v'shahat oto. That means that everyone I'm bringing uneshalma parim sefatenu, in a merit of that I'm saying the korbanot, you'll do atonement to all our sin. That's the Hidush. That's the Hidush. I would like to go now to chapter 2, verse 1. And in chapter 2, verse 1, look what it says. It's something very interesting. We're going to speak about it. And we'll explain, and then we go to another one. But first, let's go. V'nefesh ki takriv korban mincha la'Adonai, solet, yiyeh korbano, ve'yatzak alea shemen, ve'natan alea levona.
When a person offers a meal offering to Hashem, his offering shall be of fine flour. He shall pour oil upon it and place frankincense upon it.
What's happening here? Rashi HaKadosh, let's start with Rashi. Rashi HaKadosh says, Shum korban nedava, no korban that a person want to give it as a nedava, as a donation, doesn't call a soul. Why dafka this korban that called korban mincha, okay, that they're bringing him in mincha, okay, call nefesh. Rashi HaKadosh say, because a poor person bring that korban. What is that korban? It's a fine flour. What is a fine flour? It's a semolina. On it, you pour a little bit of oil, and on it, you put a fragrance thing, the Frank's incense, okay? And you put it on top, and that's the mincha that you elevate into HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's what you offer. Who usually bring that mincha? That mincha, that's offering, brought by the poor person. How much does this cost? Few pennies. Come the Baal HaTurim, and Hazal tell us that you have to understand, Hazal in a Gemara in Masechet Menachot, in page 104, folio 2, ask, why is it called soul? We have to understand. Rashi says, all the korbanot doesn't call soul, only this korban. I saw a commentary of Rabbi Yaakov Baal HaTurim. Rabbi Yaakov Baal HaTurim, born in the city of Kelen 755 years ago. And he explained like this. He said that if a rich person come and bring a korban, he buy a cow, he buy sheep, whatever, it doesn't make a difference. He have money for that. The cost for it, you already have. Don't worry for him. You have the money. He said, but when a poor person come and he bring that fine flour, the oil, and that fragrance that you put on top, that spice that called levona, that's doing the most, utmost, nahat ruach to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Why? Because that poor person hardly have money to eat. He doesn't have money to eat. And he taking the money not only from his stomach, from the stomach of his kids and his wife. And with that little bit, he give an offering to Hashem. The Rabbi Yaakov Baal HaTurim, that person considered like he's given his own soul. And that soul, it's difficult. Why? Because he took the little bit money that he had, that the little bit food that he had, that he can buy him and his family. And with that, he cut from it. And he bring in korban to HaKadosh Baruch Hu to say thank you. He said that HaKadosh Baruch Hu loved that more than anything. What's the Hidush here? Because, said Rabbi Yaakov Baal HaTurim, you know what's the Hidush? I tell you. That poor person sacrificed his own soul, took from his own stomach, took from his wife's stomach, the food that he's supposed to feed himself, the wife and the kids, he took from them, and he elevated to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's why it's called so. What is the Hidush here? Said the Mefarshim, you learn from here. HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't count how big is the offering that you give. Why? The money is belong to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You want to see how much effort you doing towards him. How much you willing to sacrifice from your own to give to the Almighty in honor of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's the Hidush here. And that's why it's called Nefesh. Say Rabbi Yaakov Baal HaTurim. Let's go to verse 11. Wow, we're running late. I'm going to start accelerating with your permission. Verse 2, chapter 2, verse 11. כל המנחה אשר תקריבו לאדוני, לא תעשה חמץ, כי כל שעור וכל דבש, לא תקריבו ממנו אישה לאדוני.
Any meal offering that you offer to Hashem shall not be prepared leavened, for you shall not cause to go up in smoke from any leavening or fruit honey as a fire offering to Hashem.
Okay. Here we see that the Torah tells us that there is a mitzvah when you bring the korban of the mincha, you should not put in it not yeast and not honey. Okay? What it means? Kol seor v'chol devash. You're not allowed to bring not seor is devash, seor is yeast, devash is honey. Chazal tell us something very important. Chazal in the Gemara, in Masechet Brachot, in page 17, folio 1, tell us that what is seor? Seor is yeast. What is the character trait of yeast? It's to raise, okay? Arrogancy, proud. Say Rabbeinu Bechaye, let me explain to you what Chazal tried to tell you in a Gemara in Masechet Menachot, Masechet Brachot. Chazal tell you something very important. The yeast symbol arrogancy, proud. Why? If you take yeast and you put it on anything, it starts leavening, start rising. Say HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I don't like arrogancy. I don't like anything that's proud. Say Rabbeinu Bechaye, so what's wrong with the honey? He said, I'll explain to you, Sir Rabbeinu Bechaye. The honey is sweet. Sweet represents what we call te'avot. Te'avot is desire. People that follow the desire. They love to eat. They love to drink. Okay? But they do it with all their heart, with all the desire. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Sir Rabbeinu Bechaye, doesn't want it. Why? Because a person that follows his desire, okay, that means that's what entices him later on to do also averot. Because he can't control his desire, let's say for eating. I'm not saying about any other thing else. He cannot control himself from refraining from doing averot. He said, and that's the reason that HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't want it. Because they assemble the two things that actually the two character traits that lead a person to do averot. What is it? It's a east, that it's getleven, okay, getraz, arrogancy and proud. Number two, sweet, that's the honey that entices a person to do averot, that follow after his desire. Come the great eagle, Harambam, Rabbi Moshe ben Maimon. Rabbi Moshe ben Maimon, born in the city of Cordova in Spain. He born around 889 years ago, plus minus. And in his book, Hayad HaHadasha, I'm sure that all of you heard about it. It's the main book of the Rambam. He wrote in Elchot De'ot. Elchot De'ot in chapter 1, law number Halacha Daled, law number 4. Listen what he said. He said, and he explained, that all the character trait that a person has, you have to choose to walk always in the middle way. Not to be too extreme to the right, not too extreme to the left. He's saying that in life you have to be all the time in the middle. Don't be too extreme. That's what the Torah asks you. But he said, look here in this verse what the Torah tells you. Two things. HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't want to see them in a korban of mincha. What is it? He doesn't want to see when you bring in a korban something that's leaven, that rise, that's the east, and he doesn't want to see the honey. What is honey? It's a person that follows his desire. He said that the Torah here tried to teach you something very extraordinary in life. That you should not follow, to refrain from following arrogancy, to refrain from thinking that you so good, you're so great, you're the best. No. The Torah comes to teach you modesty and humbleness. That's what the Torah tried to tell you. That when you come to grieve a korban, what is the job of the korban? Is to bring your heart. What does it mean to bring your heart? That to break yourself, to understand that you're a human being, that you made a mistake. And when you're coming to ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu for forgiveness, you shouldn't come with arrogance. You shouldn't come with your desire. Those ones you should put aside. You should get rid of them. And then HaKadosh Baruch Hu will accept your offering. And that's the Hidush. That means always to go in a golden way, in a middle way. And that's the Hidush that the Rambam teaches in Rabbeinu B'Chaya. Let's go to chapter 4. Mark chapter 4. I'm skipping because the time is running, doesn't have respect to us. Verse 2. And look here what it says. We're going to speak about, here we're going to speak about sinning, and we're going to try to explain what it says. Chapter 4, verse 2. דבר אל בני ישראל לאמור, נפש כי תחטא בשגגה, מכל מצוות אדוני, אשר לא תעשנה, ועשה אחת מהנה.
When a person will sin unintentionally from among all the commandments of Hashem that may not be done, and he commits one of them.
Okay, here I want to point something. In English, you say, when someone, but in Hebrew, it says nefesh, is a soul when it's going to sin. That's again, I'm trying to explain all the time that you cannot read the English without the Hebrew, understanding the Hebrew. You have to read the Hebrew to understand what the verse says. Because it says, if someone sins, but the Torah doesn't say that. It says, nefesh ki tahta, if the soul will sin. bishgaga, by mistake. I saw a beautiful commentary of the Rabbi Haim ben Attar. Rabbi Haim ben Attar, born in the city of Sali 328 years ago in Morocco, plus minus. In his commentary, Or Haim HaKadosh, he asked, why does it say here, Nefesh ki tehta? If a soul will sin by mistake, why it say if Nefesh ki tehta? It should say Adam ki ihta bishgaga. Why does it say Nefesh? Say Rabbi Haim ben Attar something extraordinary. He said when a person do Avera, you have to understand that he lose, that's not on purpose, bishgaga. When a person do Avera, he lose part. What does he lose? Part of his holy soul. Say the Torah come to tell you that if a person done Avera by mistake, okay, he lost part of his soul, okay, he lost it, okay. How do you bring it back? That by that if a person do tshuva, he bring the korban, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will return him that soul, holy soul, back. But lo alenu, if a person done avera b'mezid, what it mean b'mezid? On purpose. When is that holy soul going to return back to him? Say Rabbi Haim ben Attar, or Haim HaKadosh, listen to that. It's not enough to bring just the korban. When a person do tshuva gmura, what it means tshuva gmura? When a person done a proper tshuva, that means that he regret what he done. It's not enough just to regret and to take on himself, number one, for the future not to do it anymore. That's the tshuva gmura. By mistake, okay, he lost part of his soul, the holy soul, part of it. But when a person do avera b'mezid on purpose, then the complete soul leaving. And that's the Hiddush, what he said, the soul. That each one of us have the holy soul in us. When we do an averot, we're losing that holy soul. How we can bring it back, which depends what kind of averah and how we done the averot. So if we done it by mistake, say Rabbi Haim ben Attar, okay, you made it, okay. But how you bring it back, therefore you doing the averah, you do tshuva, you bring the korban, beseder, it's come back. But if you done it b'mezid, it's too difficult. Then you have to do tshuva gemura, complete tshuva, and that's the Hiddush. I would like to end up with something else that, again, modesty and humbleness. And I think that that's very important for us now because we're coming to the festival of Purim. We have to understand how to behave, each one of us. And look what it says. Asher, chapter 4, verse 22. Asher nasi yehta ve'asa ahat mikol mitzvot Adonai Elohav. Asher lo ta'asenna bishgaga ve'asham.
When a ruler sins and commits one from among all the commandments of Hashem, his God, that may not be done unintentionally and becomes guilty.
This question that I'm going to put in front of you been asked by Rabbi Yitzhak Karo. Rabbi Yitzhak Karo, born in the city of Toledo, 650, if I'm not mistaken, 56 years ago. Okay, 600 plus minus 656 years ago. He was the uncle of Rabbi Yosef Karo, the Maran Bet Yosef. He was his uncle, and that when they was in Spain during the Golden Era, was just the starting of the beginning of the Inquisition. When the Inquisition, the Spanish Inquisition started, that's when it started all the chorus in Spain. And he was the uncle of Maran Bet Yosef, Rabbi Yosef Karo. And he asked a question. He said, I don't understand. Nefesh ki tehta. Adam ki yehta. That means a soul maybe will sin. Okay? But when it's come to a president, a prince of the tribe, yehta, he will sin. He said, I don't understand. How can you tell me that a normal person maybe will sin? But when it's come to someone that is like a prince, a president of every tribe, he will sin. Why is the Torah said it? Say, Rabbi Yitzhak Karolan. He said the Torah come to teach you a very important principle here. A person that has position, a person that has status in life, and people respect him, and people talk to him nicely, and people serve him all day. Inevitably, he will sin. He will sin. That's no question. Why? Because he thinks that everyone look after him, everyone look up to him, everyone have to respect him. He's entitled for everything. Say, Rabbi Yitzhak Karo, the Torah come to teach you. Those that have a position, those that have a status, they have to work on themselves extra. Why? Because the respect that they get, everyone nice to them, everyone want to show their favor to them because they need it. Okay? So a person come to a situation of arrogancy. Okay? Proud, arrogancy. But when a person is a normal human being, no one really respects him. He's a normal member of the community. That person not easily will sin. Why? Because no one respects him. So he doesn't have any arrogance. He doesn't have any pride. So to say that, no, nishgafela. But the person that everyone look up to him, everyone, want to be close to him, everyone respect him, he have a status, he have a position, inevitably he will sin. He will sin. And that's what the Torah tells us. Come, Rabbi Yitzhak Karo, and say here the Torah tried to teach you, those that have a position, those that have status, how much they have to work on themselves to be careful, because their position, because their status, not going to lead them to sin. They have to work on themselves extra, to be extra modest, extra humble, okay? And all the time to remember who put me in that position, who made me who I am. That will help them to overcome. And that's the Hidush here, say Rabbi Yitzhak Karo, that the Torah come to teach you, those that have position, those that hold a position in anything, in a bank, in a job, in a factory, okay, in a Jewish living position, they have to work on themselves so hard that it's not going to lead them to arrogancy and not to lead them to proud. Why? Because when they have the proud, that's what going to entice them, the arrogancy and the proud, to sin. And Be'ezrat Hashem, Rabotai, that we coming now to the festival of Purim. It's a Ade lo yada ben Arur Haman leBaruch Mordechai. Hayav inshe lebesume. A person should drink wine. By the way, many people drink whiskey, drink beer. To fulfill the mitzvah, Chazal say lebesume with what? With wine. Person should drink wine, okay, and with that, to feel a bit happy. It doesn't say to get drunk, but it said that you can't tell the difference between Arur Haman leBaruch Mordechai, between curse Haman to bless Mordechai. You say yes, when usually you get used to drink a half a cup of wine. Now drink a full cup of wine, what you not get used to. That's already going to make you a bit heavy and you want to sleep. When you sleep, you can't tell the difference between curse Haman to bless Mordechai. That's the Hidush. It doesn't say a person should get drunk on Purim. Because when a person gets drunk, then all the Averot come. And who will know what else come with from that mouth that he eats. So Rabotai, we have to explain that. We, Baruch Hashem, we all old here. The youngsters, we have to explain to them there's no mitzvah to get drunk, to do stupid things. That's didn't written in any halacha. A matter of fact, I saw it in the name of the Rabbi, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember. The Rabbi, Rabbi Shlomo ben Aderet, I think so, I'm not sure. He said, how much a person should drink in Purim? Adeh lo yada. He said he should drink a little bit more than what he gets used to. So if a person gets used to drink every day a cup of wine, on Purim you must drink 2. That's all. If you not get used to, drink a half a cup or 1 cup. That's all. But it doesn't say to drink and has b'shalom. I don't want to say the word. People sometimes throw out. And then everyone else. Efo derech eretz? Where's the derech eretz? Rabotai, that's all about Parashat Vayikra. Humbleness, modesty, to refrain, to run away, to push yourself away from arrogance. Be'ezrat Hashem, that we should all follow what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants us to follow, to get rid of the inclination, that character trait of arrogancy and proud, and we're going to be more modest and more united, Be'ezrat Hashem. And then HaKadosh Baruch Hu will send us, Mashiach Tzidkenu speedily in our day, Amen, Ken Yeh Ratzon.
Amen.
And I would like to take the opportunity, Rabotai, and to wish all of you, first of all, Shabbat Shalom, because tomorrow is a fast day, and a fast day after the fast. I don't fast very well. It's very difficult for me to give show after the fast. But I would like, first of all, to wish you a meaningful fast. Number 2, a beautiful Shabbos. And also to take the opportunity and to wish all of you Purim Sameach, that please God will have a joyful Purim, a beautiful Purim with a lot of happiness, and will merit to see that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the same like he put the hostages where they are in 1 second there, he can release them in 1 second. So Be'ezrat Hashem, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will release all the hostages, and we'll see miracle like the Jewish people saw in a time of Mordechai and Esther, Be'ezrat Hashem. To wish you all a beautiful evening. Thank you for joining us. Those of you that have questions can unmute the microphone and I'll try to answer if I can. Bechavod.
Hello, it's Anthony. How are you?
Erev Tov, Antonio. How are you?
Right then. First of all, why was the Rambam known as the Great Eagle?
Why they call him the Great Eagle? What is, you mean, why did he get that nickname as a Great Eagle? That's what you're asking.
Yes.
A Great Eagle means that he know all the Torah. Great Eagle, when you give someone the title of a Great Eagle, that he know the Torah front and backwards. He know all the Torah of Bahar. He know all the halachot. He know all Torah shebechtav, Torah shebe'al peh, all the Tanakh. Everything he knew of Bahar. He knew all the halachot. Okay? What's the purpose of the halachot? What's the reason behind the halachot? That's what it means, Great Eagle.
Okay. Thanks very much.
Pleasure. Any other questions? Someone I saw that unmuted and wanted to ask a question. Bechavod. No question? Okay. Yes, Frank. Bechavod. Ken, Bechavod, Frank.
Rabbi, I want to ask you one or two questions.
I hardly can hear you, Frank. Can you speak to the microphone?
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yeah, a bit better, yeah.
Okay. When King Solomon dedicated the temple, he asked Hashem that please, that if a non-Jew came to ask for forgiveness, he should do it. He should forgive that non-Jew. Am I right?
I don't know about it. I know that
Well,
they used to sacrifice in Bet HaMikdash, in Hag HaSukkot, they used to sacrifice 70 korbanot towards the nation, for the successful of the nation. I don't know if it's for forgiveness. That's I never.
I read that somewhere. So
Okay.
As you said, it doesn't have to be a Kohen to
do the shechita.
The shechita.
The shechita.
Yeah. But
again, but the atonement, the shechita is not, the shechita have nothing to do with the atonement.
But I read somewhere that only the Kohen can take the blood and sprinkle it on.
Nachon. That's what we said. That's what we said tonight. The sprinkling of the blood around the mizbeach, only the Kohen can do. But the shechita can be done by anyone. Yes. It doesn't make a difference if he's a Kohen or he's not a Kohen, if he's a Levy or Israel, as long that he know how to shecht and he know the law of shechita and he have yirat shamayim. Those the most important thing, that he learns shechita. He know what to do. He know how to check the korban. That's what it means. He know how to shecht. It's not just to shecht. You have to know the ilchot shechita. That you have to learn them. And you have to have the fear of heaven. That's the chokmah.
Now,
that's what I'm saying.
The other question I want to ask is the korban todah.
The korban todah, yes. Thanksgiving.
Why do we have to stand for that one? Do we have to stand for that
what is korban todah? First of all, let's understand what is korban todah, and that will help us to understand. Korban todah is a thanksgiving. A person done something happened to a person. He done a good business. He done a good deal. Okay? You want to thank Hakadosh Baruch Hu. A person found a wife and got married. You want to bring a thanksgiving. You understand what I'm saying? A person had a boy after many years, a child after many years. You want to thank Hakadosh Baruch Hu. What is Korban Todah? Is to say thank you to the Almighty. For what? For what you've given me. That means that here you're showing your appreciation to the Almighty, to the Creator. And you accept that everything that you have and everything that happened with you, it's from Him. It's not from yourself. You don't take the credit to yourself. You give Him the credit to who? To the one and only, the Almighty. You follow the importance.
The other question is, when you bring a korban, okay, and you have to wait, 6 to 7 days? It's how many days before it becomes purified, kosher? Because it might get a mob or something like that.
Yes.
Right. So what happens? Let's say you bring the korban and they sacrifice it, and then they find that there was a mob on it beforehand. Does that sacrifice become kosher, or do they have to bring another one?
It's become pasul. You have to bring another one.
Pasul. You have to bring another one.
It also depends. You see, you have to check the person that done the shechita. Have to check it. What was wrong? You understand? Sometimes a person, the korban was 100%, and suddenly when he start to shech, the animal moved, and it's become taref. You understand? So these are all different situations.
And the last question is, if you come and you bring in a korban and you say you're going to do it for Thanksgiving or a sin, and you have the wrong thought, is that correct, or do you have to bring another one? Let's say you're thinking of this one, but you bought it was for a Thanksgiving, and then it should have been for an Olah or something like that.
It's a bit of a problem. Why? Because the idea that you brought the korban, you know why you brought it. What you say is not. The chokhmah is, why do you bring it? And sometimes people say the wrong words. But the chokhmah, what does he think when he bring the korban? What was his mahshava? What was his thought? What was his idea behind?
Okay. Thank you.
You follow? You understand? A person can bring a korban, but he doesn't have any thought. He doesn't regret the sin that he done. He continued to do what he's doing. So what did you do? You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
The chokhmah is what's hiding behind the fault.
Okay. All right.
Beseder.
Yes,
Pleasure, pleasure. Any other question, Rabotai? Any other question? No. I see that there is no question. In that case, I would like to wish all of you, please God, a meaningful fast tomorrow. Enjoy the holiday. And Be'ezrat Hashem, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will send Mashiach Tzidkenu, we don't have to fast. And we'll have a Freilach Purim to all of us. Purim Sameach to all of us. Be'ezrat Hashem, and we'll see miracle. In the meantime, I would like to thank you all for joining us, to wish you all, number one, meaningful fast. Number two, if I'm not going to see you before Shabbos, to wish you a beautiful Shabbos, Shabbat Shalom, and Purim Sameach to all of you, to your family, and to Kol Am Yisrael. Amen. Ken Yeh Ratzon. Thank you for joining us. Have a good evening, everyone. Have a good night. Good night.